Hello everybody, welcome to my latest video. This time I decided to do a really deep dive into the Cayo finale, the Cayo Perico finale. Okay, I'm going to show you how it's absurdly easy. Okay, now first of all, I decided to do this video. I happen to have the pink diamond and 2 easy cocaines, so this will make this even easier. But the first of all, never buy the armor. That's, you know, obvious because it gives it to you anyway. So this is going to be a really easy way of doing the Cayo finale. First thing, you always want to use the long fin. And by the way, if anybody needs any help with doing the prep missions, they're pretty easy, but I'm more than happy to make a prep video. But so far, you know, it doesn't matter where you... Okay, so I use the long fin. I go to the main dock only because I have the cocaines in the airport. The compound entry, the only one I didn't get the C4 or whatever it was, so I got the tool to cut through the grate. And the escape, you can escape any way you want. Doesn't really make a difference because you're not going that way anyway. Time of day, I always choose night because it makes it harder for the guards to see you. That's just me though. I find night to be easier. Now, to reiterate this again, this is not going to be a speed run. This is not going to be a highly skilled run. In fact, just the opposite. I'm going to slow down in a lot of spots to make this even more easy to explain. Normally, I could get this done in going this particular route, you know, 11 or 12 minutes easily. And that's even with all these remote cocaines. That's not even using the trick to get into the gold rooms in Rubio's compound. So notice I'm going left here, and I'm going toward the airfield. So now, unfortunately, just a note, in case if you've done more of these than one or two, you've probably come across this problem. These boats don't have anchors, so it's very important. Very important to park the boat where it's not going to drift out to sea. So notice I'm jutting it up against the rock. So now the boat will either just keep going backward and keep hitting the rock, or it'll go forward and go adrift, which is no problem. You can still get the boat out if it goes a little bit on land. So now my 2 cocaines are in the hangar. So that's where I'm going. And notice where I parked, I can get very much away from all of the guards except for this one. Well, that was some shitty shooting, but okay. So now again, this is a tutorial not so much for the secondary loot, although I'd be more than happy to go into how to get all the secondary loots in another tutorial, but for now, I'm going to leave that weed there. I didn't even scope it. For now, this is just going to be basically a tutorial on how to get the elite easily. Now, by the way, it's very possible that if I slow down too much, I may not get the elite, but I don't care. I don't care about the 100 grand, so. I mean, if you look at the amount of money I have, it's a little ridiculous, so I'm going to really take my time to stop and explain certain things that'll cost me a lot of time. Note that if you're not doing that, obviously, you'll have an easier time. Now, this is the only way to get up onto that second level to get secondary loot. You probably know that already. Most people do. One thing be wary of if you're new to doing Cayo finales, that just be wary of the fact that cash, if you look at it real quick, sometimes your eye might mistake it for cocaine, and you might... I actually did that one of my first finales. I was like, oh shit, I'm taking cash, and I stopped after taking like 1 or 2 little piles. And so obviously all you need is 2 cocaines to fill up your loot. Now I'm going to show you something else too. Now this isn't strict... Look, This isn't strictly speaking necessarily because I don't need any of the loot there, but I'm going to show you how you would get that secondary loot if you wanted to go into that little barn structure. Now I'm looking down the road, so the truck that patrols here left. You got to be careful. If you see the white headlights, then you want to get to cover for a minute. Now I'm pretending I need that loot, even though I don't. So you get these two guys by staying out of there, right? Then you get this guy. Make sure you get this guy. Now, before anything, you have to get this light. Because if you don't get this light, I mean this camera, then you're going to get caught. Also, before you come into this area, you want to see that? I'm not going to go in here. But you could take that guard out that's on the other side of this, on the other side of that wall. Okay, you can take him out. When you first land on the island, I forgot to do it. When you first land on the island, he should be coming toward your boat, and you could take him out then. That's if you need that loot. I didn't need the loot, but I stopped to show, just to show it to you. Okay, so again, I'm not worried about whether or not I actually get the elite. Because... But that's pretty much how you get all the loot in the airfield. By the way, another tip, I mean, unless you really, really feel like you need them, I don't even bother. When I'm scoping, I only get all the once I have 2 cocaines, I stop. I don't bother with the grappling hook, I don't bother with the uniforms, I don't bother with, what else can you get? The vehicle. I mean, see, now, this is the price of not having an anchor. You have to really, really... This boat's a pain in the ass to get out of here. But it's worth it because I've had this where I didn't put it up against the rock, where the boat was out to sea, and I either had to start it all over again or try to steal one of these boats riding by. Now I'm going to show you something also. If you're a speedrunner, and again, I'm not a speedrunner, but I do this sometimes. If I get 2 paintings in El Rubio's office, I don't bother going into the drainage tunnel. What I do is I jump using this rock. You got to come up on it. You use the little rock, and you can jump onto the ground. You can jump your boat. Like I see where it is now because I passed it. Oh, I did pass it. Okay. So you would jump that rock over there, but you would be coming straight north-south. Jump on the little rock, not the way I'm going. I'm heading west, and you would jump on the little rock, and you'd end up on, around the compound. Again, that's if you're really speed running and you don't want to use the drainage tunnel. You want to kind of break into the compound, kind of using a little bit of an exploit. So now again, I'm making my way to the compound. I've wasted about 2 or 3 minutes already, so I may or may not get the elite, but we'll see. Because I'm also going to slow down with the hacking too, because that's very important. A lot of people get really messed up on the time with the hacking to get into the basement. Now this is obviously easy. Oh, and unlike single player, just so you know, the cutting torch doesn't run. You can just hold your finger on R2. The cutting torch doesn't run out of fuel like it could possibly in the single player. So I just leave. I just keep pressing the trigger. Whoops, missed that one. You're never gonna run out of. You can be here all day. Ooh, the one thing I didn't do is I didn't hit my I did hit my rebreathers there, okay. Also, when you jump into the water, make sure you hit your rebreather, because if you're not paying attention, you could actually drown if you don't put your rebreather on. That actually almost happened to me. I didn't drown, but I lost like all my armor and half my health before I realized that I was drowning. So, I don't know. Just so you know. That was way, way back when the update first released with the Cayo heists. Now, when you come in through if you come in through the way I showed you before by jumping the rock, you end up in a different spot, and actually a better spot. But here, when you come in through the drainage, you enter this way all the time. Now you're facing north. Face all the way around, and immediately toggle to your shotgun. Now, if you notice, I'm going around the compound clockwise. I'm not taking the most direct route there. I'm staying with the water is to my left. Okay, because the first thing, and I'm staying hidden by this gated area. And the first thing you want to do is take out these two guards. I'm ignoring the rest of the guards here because I don't need them. The only other guard in camera I need is this one. Which unfortunately, because I took so much time, I now... Usually I get him... Usually I get him when he's there. But because I'm, you know, I'm slowing down, taking my time. So you get that camera. Make sure you get that camera. And make sure you get this guy too, because he very often is holding the key. Yep, and he was. Sometimes he isn't. Sometimes you can't find the key. It's more of a pain in the ass than it's worth. And now this guy I normally get a lot sooner, but I had to get him quietly because... Alright. So I'm way off. The problem is, because I'm slowing down so much, I'm way off my normal timing. So these guards aren't spawning where I usually expect them to, but that's no problem. I can deal with that. Okay. So now, if you're speed running, don't bother going up to the office if there's no paintings up there. But I'm going up because, what the hell, I always like to get the safe. Now, in this particular instance, I probably shouldn't because I'm not going to get the elite, or I might not get the elite, but I get the money off the safe anyway. It's usually only about 75,000. Let's see how much it is now. Alright, so it's about 60,000. Now, I toggle to the shotgun in case I got to deal with the Juggernaut. I probably will, because the Juggernaut is... Yeah, I'm going to have to deal with the Juggernaut. Well, actually, I don't. Nope. He's not going to see me. So I can just ignore him. I just snuck by him. Now, if you do have to deal with the Juggernaut, headshot with the shotgun. Has to be the shotgun, otherwise you stand the chance of very easily just... Even if you kill him, you alert the guards. You want to get him in 1 or 2 shots at most, and he's hard to kill unless it's a direct headshot with the shotgun. Just saying. If you have to kill him. Now, this is... I'm going to slow down a lot. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. People get flummoxed with this, but if you look at this, just the top piece is always the number 1 piece. Go down, and it's always the number 2 piece. Go down again, and it's always the number 3 piece. See? 1, 2, 3, because you're third down. Now, this one is going to be 4. Okay, so this is going to actually trigger it now. So I'm going to go back, right? So always remember, the first section gets the first piece. So now I'm going to put this in the first piece. I'm going to put this in the second piece now, going through the... And you can see that you're at the bottom piece. Now I'm going to the third piece. Now I know this is the 4th piece. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. This should be the 5th piece, but I'm going to ignore it for a second. This would be the 6th piece, and I would scroll to that, which is already there. This would be the 7th. I would scroll. See, you see the difference? So now here, since I'm good, so now this is the 5th piece. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that didn't work out so well. Well, I must have miscounted. Oh, that's why. Because I didn't put the 3rd piece in. All right, so I got tagged because I was trying to explain it. So always remember, you don't have to do it like by eye like you do in the casino heist. For the longest time, I was doing it by eye, and it would take me a long time to do it, and I would sometimes I'd miss out on the elite until I figured out that 1 corresponded to 1, 2 corresponded to 2. And 8, all the way down to 8 corresponding. Now here, this is easy. Just hold it all the way until it's almost like about 3/4. Once it gets to 3/4, let it go. And then let it go all the way down. This is I found the fastest way to do it. And you should be able to do it in 4 clicks. See, that was 4. So this is pretty easy. Just try not to overheat it because... Now, go straight to your left. Make your first right after this gate. Now, here's I'm going to show you something else, okay? Now, you come out here. Now, see this, well, sorry, stopped too short. See this round pillar here? Stop to the immediate left and just go up. Now you got to be careful here because there's... Okay, now I'm actually just ignoring him. I'm not even going to get him because I'm outside of his flashlight or his cone of vision. So I didn't even have to get him. He didn't even see me, even though he was looking straight at me. So now, as you can see, all the time that I took, I'm probably not going to get... Well, actually, I should still get the elite, but if I do get the elite, it won't be by much. But I don't... you know... Normally, my time is pretty good, even though I'm not a speedrunner. Now here, I just run straight. If I'm doing this solo, if you're doing it with 2 people, then you got to do it different because this vehicle only holds 1. If I was doing this with 2 people, I would kill these guards. I would toggle to this. I would kill that guard, and then I would get the camera. Or some people, you know what speedrunners do? They'll just take the vehicle and they'll let them shoot at you. Because here's a trick, you can still get the elite if you get spotted outside the compound. But the only thing is, if you're a little greedy with money, you don't necessarily, and you're not a speedrunner, you're better off just avoiding getting shot at, because every time you get shot, you lose some of your cash. You know, you lose some of the payout. And this is going to be a pretty nice payout, even if I don't get the elite. I mean, I've already got 1.9 million. The game will take about 150,000. Maybe a little more. Alright, so now, not that I care about the 100 grand at this point, but I'm curious to see if I could really get the elite after all that crazy time wasting. Well, not wasting, showing, you know, just showing you guys what to do. Oh, and just so you know, I'm escaping almost straight west. Because if you haven't been spotted, nobody's going to catch you. You know, if you go south all the way through, like where that helicopter is, and past, and those guards see you, then all these boats would be, you know, all these boats would be chasing you and shooting at you and chipping away at your take. In this instance, maybe I should have gone that way, but I'll say. Only because of the fact that I might be over the 15 minutes. Just so you know, the criteria for the elite challenge for that extra 100 grand is you have to finish in under 15 minutes. You can't be spotted while you're in the compound. You can get spotted all you want after you escape the compound, but before you enter the compound or while you're in the compound, you cannot be spotted. Okay, also you have to have both, it doesn't matter whether you get cash or coke or weed or a combination or gold, but you have to fill up your secondary loot bags. Oh, and you can't die if you die. So any of those 5 or if you meet all those 5 conditions, then you get the elite, which is again an extra 100 grand. And if you're, you know, grinding money out, that's, you know, considering how easy the elite is to get on this, you know, my intentionally slow performance notwithstanding. Oh, let's see what we got. So obviously it's passed. Let's see what my time is. Ignore that potential take, it's nonsense. Yeah, that's more like it. 1.7. 1522. Okay, so I didn't get the elite, but again, I don't care. You know, I wanted this to be more of an instructional video. But just so you know, if you do exactly what I did, only you cut out all of the time wasting I did, you could easily get the elite in 11, you know, or even low 12s, if you have an easily located loot, you know, secondary loot. And even if you have to go to like the North Dock, which takes a little more time. Or if you have to do what I did, where you let's say you didn't have all your loot in the hangar. So anyway, all right, I'm not going to wait for the final cut screen. I get about 1.7 million from that. That's worth it. But again, I hope this helps somebody out there who's having trouble with these heists. I know I've read in the forums that a lot of people have trouble with the finales solo. So, yeah, maybe I'll wait for 2 seconds just to see all my stats. And again, I missed it by 22 seconds, which again is not a big deal. It is what it is. All right, thanks for watching, and have a great day.